gate was the only gate that was made with bronze. And the bronze was called Corinthian bronze. So each and every time, these priests, they could polish this gate to the extent that it was shining. So whenever you could look at the gate, you could mirror yourself. So this meant each and every day, whenever you could look at the gate, you could not see only the bronze, but you could see something. So this gate now started to do something upon this man's perception. So this gate again simulated the looking glass that you could find in the tabernacle. When God said unto Moses, I want you to take these measurements and I want you to construct a tabernacle. God said this tabernacle is going to be having 3 segments or compartments. The first compartment was going to be the outer court, where everybody had the privilege to get to. Then there was going to be the inner court. Within the inner court, only the priests and his supervisors, Aaron and his sons, the likes of Eliezer, had the responsibility and the privilege to enter in the inner court. Whenever you could enter the inner court, the first thing that you could meet in the inner court, it was a dish with water. So you were supposed to clean your feet, clean your hands from any dirty. Then after cleaning yourself, there was a mirror that was there, which you could look at yourself before you enter the Holy of Holies. So this gate was called beautiful, why? Because it could simulate and mirror the setup of the tabernacle. So whenever Aaron and Eliezer could look at themselves now, it could change their perception. It could do something on the sense of their perception, how they see things. Because in life, how you see things matters. How you see life matters. How you see situations matters. So these guys, they had given and dedicated their lives and said, we are going to present our brother at the beautiful gates. His life is ugly, but he's sitting on a beautiful gate. Your life may be ugly, but God is still beautiful. I may be passing through ugliest things in life, but that cannot change God. God is still beautiful. My finances may be ugly, but that does not change the perception of God of my life. God is still beautiful. How good and beautiful it is when brothers talk together in unity. So the devil may be attacking my life, the devil may be against my progress, the devil may have changed and redirected the trajectory of my spirituality, but that does not change how God looks. God is still beautiful. That's why we are ordered to worship God in and out of seasons. Whenever we pass through the waters, high waters, low waters, what God expects from me is that I worship Him because He remains beautiful. So this gate now was a reminder to this man that yet though your life is ugly, yet though you are crippled from your mother's birth, yet though you're a beggar, you're a pauper, you are poor, when you look at these gates, it will remind you that God is still beautiful. There are still beautiful opportunities and prospects about my life. So that's why he would continue to go at the gates. And there was no guarantee that he was going to be getting anything each and every time when he comes and sits at the gates. But because of that gate, he said, as long as the gate is still there, I'm going to sit. I prophesy like a fiend. So this gate now, it was a simulation of the light that comes from God. As long as light at the end of the tunnel, child of God, don't mind what the devil will be whispering against your life. Don't mind the trajectories that you're passing through. There's always a light at the end of every tunnel. There is always a solution at the end of every problem. There's always an answer at the end of every question. So the people, as we now build up these slides, you'll find out that since now it's the place of miracles, where a miracle was performed and this man received power, he received the wholeness and perfection. But we are looking at miracles miracles, mostly the credibility, the credence, and merits are given usually to Prophet Brian, who has prayed for somebody and somebody has recovered. Usually the credence is given to the apostle or the bishop that has prayed for a situation, and the situation has changed. But every miracle has got its conception, a formation, and a process. Before you get to the place of a miracle, there is